So we got Steve, Kelly, and Kyle, and we are reviewing Elden Ring Nightreign. We're all pretty big fans of Elden Ring, and I'm a huge From Software fan. I got Steve into it with Dark Souls, and Nightreign certainly looked like something different. I sent a message to Kyle and Steve like pretty much a day or two after release. We're like, "Are we gonna play this? I think we're gonna play it for like a day and probably never play it again." But
Get pissed off at it and
yeah, and just because of the differences, it doesn't have like exploration. Like we looked into the game, we know that the exploration wasn't really a huge thing. It didn't have the character building or the RPG mechanics that we like Elden Ring for. Like those are the main mechanics that we like that game. So we kind of assumed that this game really wouldn't be for us, but we kind of gave it a shot anyways. And I platinumed it. I have like 80 hours in it. We all played it together multiple weeks in a row, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it's fun. I think it's a fun game. It's certainly something different. They can't sell it as like an Elden Ring 2. It's definitely an asset swap, but I had a lot of fun with it. And how do you guys feel?
yeah, I definitely had my reservations making Elden Ring a battle royale style game, and I was like, are they gonna ruin it? But to be honest, I think it's better in terms of like a multiplayer co-op option than what we have in the base game. So I really enjoyed playing it. There's obviously things that I would change, or things that I don't necessarily love, or whatever. It's probably not going to have me coming back for, months and months and years, unless we're just kind of online hanging out and we want to play some Night Rain. But I think that's kind of the function of this kind of game. It's not meant to be like, go for hours and hours and hours and hours. It's a fun co-op option with friends.
Yeah, it's been fun to hop on, play with the friends and such. It's definitely nothing I'd want to play by myself, but it's always an option while we got our buds. Mainly though, what I've been liking about it is it's simply just more Elden Ring.
So at least one point there that I want to go on that Steve talked about. So yeah, the single player, you're playing this game by yourself. I'd agree with Steve. It's not a fun experience at all. I think it's pretty even after the update, which I don't know. I don't think I played single player before the update. I don't enjoy myself at all. Like even just making it to the final boss and stuff like that, I just find a completely unenjoyable experience. But I did play it with randoms, and while they can be what I would call confidently, we'll be nice here, very, very stupid. Just like they're confident in how smart they are, but they are just incredibly, incredibly dumb. And like I'll have some footage of stuff that they do where like they'll be marking the same object that's a terrible object to go to. There's no actual reason to go there. It's just like a random magic base that's not leading to anything else. And they're like, no, we got to go this way. It's like, why? There's no reason. I'm all for like following someone else's guide. I normally let someone else try to mark something when I'm playing with randoms before I do. I'd rather that be the case and just run to the next objective. But man, some of the stuff that they suggest is so incredibly dumb. And they're so incredibly sure that it's the right thing. But outside of that, I still have fun playing with random people.
I have run into a couple classic situations where it's like just a toxic player. Like if I die a couple times or I'm just not doing exactly what they want me to do or whatever's happening, they'll just leave. I don't know. Maybe it's just online in general that I don't like, but it's just some of that shit can be frustrating. It's much more enjoyable when you're playing with at least one friend.
I'd agree that it's much more enjoyable. I still do somewhat enjoy it playing with randoms, but I do have a note here relating to what Kyle just said. I have no voice chat. I've heard people say that that's a bad thing. I think it's one of the best things about this game that they could have possibly ever did. Listening to what other people would say on successful runs that you had because somebody died, even though they'll die occasionally, or someone didn't go down the exact path that they wanted to, would just be an absolutely terribly miserable experience. So you don't want to listen to these other players. You can already tell like when they're being annoying and frustrating with just pings on a map. You really don't want to have some sort of voice chat being involved. This community would be terrible if there was anything like that. Luckily there isn't. So for the most part you can kind of ignore it and play it your own way.
Yeah. Like I might play this game a few times without you guys, but if I do, it's not going to be very much. I'm probably not going to enjoy it. It's more fun when there's the classic co-op feel where it's just you and two other friends planning things out, strategizing, talking, making jokes, whatever. It's much better than playing with a random person and just hoping they're not a shithead.
Yeah, and I do want to talk about that experience a little bit. Just the experience of playing a multiplayer game like this with your two buddies, it's something we kind of wanted in the original Elden Ring, which would have been a bit more fun, where we just wanted like that horde mode, just co-op with your buddies while you fight bosses. This doesn't quite offer that experience because it's still not your own customizable character, but it's still a pretty fun experience, and the characters that you play as are still pretty cool, and I feel pretty balanced.
Right? I was actually strongly against the class system at first, but the classes grew on me. The ults grew on me. The skills grew on me. Like, these are all things I didn't think I would like in my Elden Ring.
Yeah, I think the classes are balanced pretty nicely.
But another note I have here is out of those main bosses, they're all fun. I think some of them, and I think the difficulty-wise, they're balanced pretty good where they are challenging. It is a hard game, but nothing seemed unbeatable or anything like that. It all seemed like if I get a good run, I get some good equipment, I'm playing with my buddies, we have good matching characters, we can beat all these bosses. And there's a lot of cool, flashy attacks. I had a lot of fun with pretty much every boss. I thought that they were unique and fun to face.
Just a quick touch, you said if you get a good run. Getting a bad run, this is one of my negatives. Getting a bad run where you're not necessarily playing it wrong. It's just like the options and the drops and the talismans that you get, and even just like the situations you find yourself in, which might be partially your own fault. But if you get a bad run and you get to the end of you get to the final boss, I've found myself a couple times being like, all right, I just want this to be over. I just wasted 45 minutes of my time. The game kind of fucked me,
Mm-hmm.
So like that randomized loot drop mechanic can be really fun because you can get some awesome shit. But if you get unlucky and just a bad roll of RNG, it kind of feels, I don't know, it's disappointing.
I agree, sometimes the drops can be bad, but I think you gotta kind of have the bad to make the good feel good, as goofy as that sounds. I do want to talk about the bosses a little bit too. So I had like that, I was playing with Steve and like Kenshin, some random guy that we met, I think his name was something like that. And they were both down, they're both at 3 bars, and I had to finish off the boss, and it was my first time fighting like the Dark Drift Knight. And I managed to take him out by dodging all his attacks and getting that final blow. And when you do get those finishes, when you're kind of like, okay, both people are down, I just need a little bit more to beat this boss, we used all of our healing potions, you can get a good experience that I don't get very often, even in like Elden Ring games, to that level.
Right, and even on a smaller scale with some of the ults that some of the classes have, if you're playing, say, the Guardian, and like you got 2 allies down with 3 bars and the fight's looking bleak, then boom, back up again and everyone's in it. Like, It just feels good. And then other times, like you said, with players, sometimes you just get a Guardian that spams, his fire bomb all day long. So that
Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
Talking about the bosses a little bit, there's the like easier bosses that you face at the end of the night, and some of them are either just Elden Ring bosses or they're bosses from earlier Dark Souls games. It was kind of neat, at least the first time, seeing some of the Dark Souls bosses come back. Not a huge nostalgia boost for me, but at least I got a little bit of one, and I'm like, I kind of know this guy. It wouldn't work in most games. Like, if they did that in, like, Elden Ring 2, I'd be pissed, because I'd want something new and original in that world, if that makes sense. But the fact that it is the spin-off, I'm like, yeah, throw in all the old shit. Like, why do I care? It's just whatever random stuff you want. On a similar note, I do have, and similar to, like, customizing with, like, Steve's, more outfits. They should have a dancer outfit for Duchess. Duh. And then they should have the Desert Witch outfit for the Witch. Just those are 2 outfits off the top of my head. No particular reason why we need to have something like that.
Look up the outfits. No reason.
Yeah, no reason.
I just think like Duchess, the way she fights, the way she like moves and
Dancer
dances,
like.
You'd want her to be as free and unburdened as possible. So she could just be like, in like a bikini or something. I feel like that would be really good for mobility.
I think so. I think that I can see where you're coming from with that. But some of the outfits that they do have, on a similar note, with the nostalgia of having like the old school Dark Souls outfits on there. Some of them are weird choices, but other ones do look really cool, like the Dark Souls 2 just main set. And Kyle laughed at it because he didn't play Dark Souls 1, but seeing like Solaire, his armor set, seeing the Onion Knight, I fucking love the Onion Knight. Eh,
Kyle
he's a
is
goofy
kind of
looking guy.
dumb.
If I knew the character, I'd probably like it, but I don't, so I thought it looked dumb.
He's goofy looking for sure, but he's supposed to be kind of goofy.
Yeah. Speaking a little bit more towards the spin-off concept, adding in like the no fall damage, you can climb shit,
Yep.
just kind of the basic quality of life stuff that, again, if it was in Elden Ring 2. Steve, you might disagree with me. You've already kind of mentioned some of the stuff that you would like to see, but I don't want that ease of gameplay to be added to something like Elden Ring 2, but it fits perfectly in this game.
I agree.
It's like
with Kyle
it's
there.
on a timer, and you got to move, and like you don't want to jump off a cliff and die accidentally. That'd be stupid. So it works very well here.
I would very much agree that a surge sprint would kind of ruin the gameplay of Elden Ring. However, no fall damage would be perfectly fine in my book. But
Yeah, no.
I hate Souls games fall damage. Elden Ring was the most forgiving, but it's still like, all right, Tort, you're gonna live. It's like a 10-foot drop. Okay, I guess that was fatal. Sure.
Yeah, I also have just interesting mechanics overall. So, like, when you're trying to... You have Elden Ring, and you already have, like, a multiplayer system in it. And you're thinking, well, we're going to have a circle close in, and they have to fight like a boss. So you kind of know that that's what generally you're going to go for. But how you get there with what it is you already have, like, the ideas that they have and the ideas that work, like adding on these side buffs on equipment that you don't actually have to ever have in your hand, just even like the characters themselves of having these alternate like art abilities where like you play as a bird guy that flies up in the air and comes back down. These are weird things that they didn't have to do, and someone thought this up, and I you would have told me this before it came out, I'd been like, oh, that probably wouldn't work, but it does. It works really well in the game based on what it is it have. So now you're looking for not just the weapon that you want to kill people with, but also just side stats, and it works better than armor too, because if they're all weapons, then you just have more versatility as well. So
Right.
it's a really good system that I personally would have never thought of, and I think some of the level of creativity there with how it is that they were able to make this work should be applauded.
So I can talk a little bit about the relic system. Just
Oh yeah.
As far as a lack of customization, as like you don't get to build your own character from scratch, but the relics kind of take that placeholder where you can set your character up to do a specific thing, like Kelly, you said. If you know you're fighting a boss, it's going to be weak to holy, and if you have a relic that gives your starting weapon holy, at least you can start off being ready for the boss, even if you don't get a good drop. It's nice to be able to mix and match, and it's not a huge level of customization or custom ability, but you can still at least tailor your character somewhat and make it feel like you have some say in like what you're doing and how you're strategizing.
And it gives
That
you
is kind of
something to unlock. I wouldn't say it's perfect, because I don't know what a perfect system would look like either, so I can't even tell them what would work better here. But I do know, like, I beat the game, I beat all the bosses now. The only reason that I'd play it at this point would be to just play it. So, like, I don't feel like I need any more relics than what it is I have, even if there are some better relics out there.
Well, a lot of people have been saying, and I kind of agree with the sentiment, that the relics are so randomized that it is almost impossible to get a relic with like 3 exact things you want on your character. And I'd say another solution to that is having something where you can spend merc or spend something on basically swapping out one of your relic buffs, like ditching the bad ones. And it could be expensive and whatnot, I wouldn't care, but it'd give you something to work towards.
Oh, sure.
There's something else to like kind of tweak.
Talking about remembrances, I think the idea is a strange one. So, at least when we're playing it, we kind of went into, even though we all play together, we still went into single player mode just to quickly do one of the quests that they want you to do. Because when you're in a run, you kind of want that run to be as good as possible, and you don't want to go out of your way. It's not that they don't reward you for doing these side activities, but it doesn't seem like it would. It seems like it would be more of a hassle most of the time. So doing the remembrances in a run, like multiplayer wise, seems a little strange, and doing it in a single player way, it kind of sucked. But to me, it felt like it was going out of my way to do the remembrance stuff.
Right. Like, and there are examples like the Raiders, for example. He just goes in a Coliseum on his own. He never even really sets foot into the expedition map.
Those
which
were
is great
fun.
as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
I like those.
Like, hey, have a fight in a Coliseum. Enjoy. You get 3 of them, you're done.
It would be repetitive if every character's remembrance was that simple, but it's good for that character, I think.
Right. That's probably true. But side note, the map, it like tells you where to go on the remembrance thing, but it tells you like generally where to go. It's just like, just show me the exact spot. What are you doing?
So talking a little bit about the map itself when you're in an expedition, I I have a positive and a negative for this. Positive, I do like that, it randomizes enough, so like when you drop in right in the beginning, you can kind of like map out, okay, we're going to go here and then there, we're going to work our way around there, then the circle's going to close in, so we want to get everything on the outside first, and then move into the next, blah, blah, blah. So it's good, it's a good concept that you can like kind of strategize with your friends as you're dropping in and kind of make choices and make it somewhat unique in that way. Like every run can be kind of different based on how the map is laid out. On the other hand, it's the same map.
Yeah,
the
they're not
spots are
different
kind of
enough.
different, but it's the same fucking map. I would like to see maybe with either this DLC or the future one, different map options. That would be good.
Like I was talking to Steve about this, and I also have it written down. Even like the sky changing a different color, and the enemies being different depending on which boss you select. So it's not just like a world event or something, which they do have the world event stuff, or they're shifting Earth to change it up a little bit.
Right. Yep.
But there's only like 4 of those, and I think it's cool that they have those. It does help the problem a little bit, but a lot of the runs that you do until you get to the final boss feel very, very, very similar to each other, with the only differences being like the weapons you find.
Right.
Right. And I would agree. Simple aesthetics, like just swap some assets around on the map, give us the DLC blue or red grass here and there, make it look underground in the sky every now and then, just change up the way it looks, the world, especially if it's thematic to the boss. And I know that's not technically random, but it is different every boss you play at least. And honestly, even though this would technically be less random too, but because we don't see enough of them, I wouldn't even mind if a shifted Earth event was tied to each boss as well.
This game will have some longevity issues. I don't think this game's going to have a large amount of people playing it in 6 months. I could be wrong, outside of like DLC and new bosses come out.
FromSoft fan base is pretty fucking rabid though. They might just keep this game going for longer than it should.
No, I think you'll be able to find matches. Like I think there'll still be people playing it. It just won't have. It's not going to be like Fortnite or something, I mean, no game's going to be like Fortnite, but it's not going to. It's not going to have a crazy long-term, people are going to be playing this game for like a year. And a large reason for that is what it is you said. The run-ups to the bosses are just too similar to each other.
Right.
Right.
But I just want to say one idea. It never happened, but split-screen co-op in a game like this, that would make it quite a bit cooler, wouldn't it? But it would be really neat, I suppose.
It's funny on the note of couch co-op, so I'll get to it later, but I have a million different game mode suggestions for this one, and a lot of them started shifting to the classic Halo couch co-op things. Like, am I suggesting Oddball and Elden Ring? I guess I am, but it could be fun.
Could be fun.
Everyone get the scarab.
A giant scarab.
Right. Just some goofy-ass mini party games would be hilarious.
And along with that, they could change up the enemies a bit more. I think I want more differences, just kind of going on to the same note before we move on from it. I want more differences between just the boss that you select. Like, okay, this is the bug boss, so you get different bosses during the nights, and you get a different variety of enemies that are roaming around. Even stuff like that would make a big deal.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't they kind of tie certain the random boss pools to certain bosses already?
They do, but it seems like it's a big enough pool where you're like, yeah, certainly they are tied to bosses like that. Like I don't think you're getting Nameless King on one of the first bosses that you'd fight, but it doesn't seem like it's quite enough. It seems like you get the same bosses pretty frequently. And I got another note here on just trying to maintain people a reason to play this game longer. I think it'd be fun if they had some extra challenging tasks, like just a few ideas I have here. They could do like a new game plus up to 7, but that would really only work in parties. Matchmaking there simply wouldn't work. Like they'd have to have a note that says we just can't do matchmaking for this because it'd break up the player base too much. You'd never find a game. But just for parties, if I'm playing with just you two or something, it would be cool if they had a new game plus up to 7 version of the bosses, so you have some really challenging versions of them. And
a harder option.
Yes. And it would be cool also if They had like rewards for different outfits for just like super challenging tasks, like beat all of the bosses in a row without failing or something. So
Hmm.
something like that I think would be really fun, or beat like 8 bosses in a row with all the different characters, and you get like an outfit or something for that, or a set of outfits, and you get maybe like a relic, like start with a blue giant crossbow or something, or a crossbolt, something weird that changes your starting equipment a little bit, but still wouldn't be that overpowered really in the long run. But then you get good rewards for doing those hard challenges, and I think you could increase how long people would want to play this game that way too. I do want to say this game does have some glitches to it. It's not a perfectly unglitchy game. I think it's important to talk about that a little bit, I guess, just when you do talk about a game. For the most part, it works fine, but every now and then you'll find something and you feel like you'll get screwed a little bit. Like we had a guy just stuck in the wall.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
He was a perfectly beatable boss, then just stuck in the wall. None of us could hit him, and we just ran out of time.
Yeah. Fire came in. Fuck.
Then there was a hilarious time you got a. Now this ain't a glitch, I don't think. It's a feature, but it's funny when you were running off after
The
you
double
beat
boss?
the day one, and then you get a double boss,
Yeah.
and you're already like a mile into the fire. Like shoot,
We
you
lived
know,
that though.
You did.
We did.
Yeah, but we had no flasks and no health by the time we got back.
Right. That was also with
Was
Johnny
that the
What's
run
His Face,
with
who
the-
kept spamming
Yeah,
his
Johnny.
alt.
Yep.
Like,
as
Yeah, because he
Guardian.
spammed it
Fucking
right
asshole.
away. We all had no heals and no health, and he spammed it to hurt the boss. It's like, dude, we're gonna die. There's a high chance of it.
One more negative. It might be kind of a non-issue, but the character arcs or story or whatever you want to call it
Mm-hmm.
kind of feels pointless. Like maybe you get more if you actually pay attention to the remembrances, but it doesn't feel like any of the characters that you can play or interact with really have any significance to them. They're just like, even when they try to tell the story, like Steve, we watched you do the cutscene with Iron Eye after beating the final boss, and it was
that
just
an
like,
exciting one, wasn't it?
yeah, it was super exciting. It was just like, oh, okay, nothing happens. He just keeps being him. Good. All right, cool.
You do you, Iron Eye.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
think.
in a game like this, it's not really necessary, I don't think, but it's still just kind of something to nitpick at, I guess.
If we're talking about the characters and what it is you get with the remembrances, which is kind of like the main story of the game for the most part, I think most of the characters are pretty plain. None of them are bad, but none of them are really good for the same reason. They're just all kind of similar to each other with the way that they talk to each other. I'll agree with that, but there are some nice moments in the remembrances where it's just two characters talking about or to each other, and you get a little bit more of seemingly a relationship between the two.
Sure.
And that's neat, but for the most part, I can see where you're coming from.
Also, I never invest in a Souls game, NPC or character in general, just because,
True.
They'll
Not gonna
die.
say.
I liked all the NPCs in the Elden Ring DLC. I thought that those were fun.
They were, until they all,
Died. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty rare when a character doesn't die, or if you have an option to save them, it like destroys everything. Like, no, we can't have that.
No. So my final negative, and it's again kind of a minor one, but the curse, getting the curse mid game, where it just kind of derails what you're doing during the expedition. I don't like that because it feels random. It doesn't feel like you trigger it. Maybe you do trigger it, and I just don't know how. But it's just we're just going about our business, and all of a sudden, oh, you're cursed. It's like, what? Fuck,
It
now
is
we gotta stop what
random,
we're doing.
but at least they kind of reward you for doing it. I actually think the worst one isn't the curse, where you have to spend some runes. The worst one is the one that
double
de-levels
locust.
you with the locust. I don't
Yeah.
even know, what do you get for that, Steve? Is it actually worth it or any good?
I don't think you get anything too crazy.
And you have to go out of your way to do that one.
That one is a big detour, though. Now, granted, don't get me wrong, it is annoying someone has to basically give up, 15 to 30 some runes or so for the curse. But it is at least quickly resolvable, even though it's a big clump of someone's runes, which is annoying. But normally you got that much at the end of the day left over.
And you do get that reward benefit without the negatives if you pay it off. So you can get like an extra Estus flask, you can get some.
Yeah, but I'm with Kyle. I don't like the curse either. I agree the locust, though, is more annoying to me.
I think
Can we go ahead?
Oh, the other events would be that one guy invading you, Margaret, the Fellowman,
Oh yeah.
and then there's
That
also
doesn't stop the time either, does it? It just
No, you just it's just a
normally
boss
I
fight.
like that invasion
But
until one time
sometimes-
did it in the fire. I'm like, oh, F you.
No, sometimes you get Margaret when you're fighting another boss, and then there's two bosses.
Right? Two bosses, fire closing in. Margaret's like, well, if you don't beat me in time, you get debuffed. Like, screw us. Okay, well, come on.
Yeah. Kyle, do you have any notes left, or is it Steve time?
It's gonna be mostly Steve. I have a few more things to talk about, but
Well, you can do yours real quick.
Yeah, but quickly, I got a lot of Steve stuff to get through.
Clock's ticking, Kyle.
so I think the one that we might agree with on the most on. You know how you pick up talismans? You know how there's an FP issue in the game? Why can't you pick up the DLC FP regen talisman?
That might be DLC for all we know. I
mean,
guess.
We do still have a decent number of ways to get FP back, either through your random buffs or your passives, or like the ability that Recluse has or whatever. But it would still feel nice to be able to pick up a talisman and just know you have that. Even if
And they could make it quicker too. They could make it better talisman.
right.
For FP
Even if
regen,
you're-
they could even put that on a relic. I don't think it would break the game to regenerate 1 FP a second or something. I don't know.
No, not a slow
Not
FP
in this
could be
game,
on a relic
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Even
Or
if you're
they
a
could
melee
make it that thing
character
where
and
you
wanna be
swap
able
the
to-
Revenant's passive, like get rid of her stupid one, give her a slow FP regen.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah, that would be good.
Oh, I do
Okay.
want to quickly talk about, it wasn't on my notes, but the bonus bosses that are more challenging, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
I like the way that they're coming out with them too, where at least at the moment they're timed. I'm assuming that won't be the case forever, but at least for now it's kind of fun to like have a time limit and you're moving on to the next one type thing.
That gives you
Yeah,
something
you
to
have
look
something to
forward
look
to.
forward to.
Yep.
Exactly. So I would like to see there be some sort of explanation or connection or relation to the base Elden Ring game. Like, it does feel very disconnected, and you guys said something about multiverse. I didn't catch that, but I would like there to be some sort of through line. And even when like you beat the game, Kelly, you were explaining it to me the first time that I beat the final boss with you guys. It's almost like your souls create the Erd tree, but it's still kind of nebulous. Like, is that a prequel then, or is it a new Erd tree? Is this a different world, a different universe, a different timeline? It feels
Yeah, it
too
seems
disconnected from the
about
base
a
Elden
Souls
Ring.
game to me, yeah.
Right. It's pretty standard,
I guess, yeah.
But I'm okay with it because I never really get too into soul stories, I guess. I know Elden Ring's pretty well.
Like only
As
because I
far
watch
as the
like
soul
enough
stories
YouTube
go.
videos, but it's not one you
Yeah.
pick up naturally even then. They don't
No.
tell
No.
stories.
No, it doesn't seem like it. But
God bless
I
the
will say
YouTubers
in
that
this,
figure all that shit out.
yeah, it doesn't bug me quite as much in this game just because it is a spin-off. And it's got like, copy-pasted content and stuff like that, so I'm okay with it being a
Sure.
little bit more disconnected. But I see where you're coming from.
Maybe more NPCs at the round table, just to kind of explain the story or the lore a little bit more. Just while you're interacting between expeditions might be something that could be beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, more stuff like that to help tell a story. I started to think From Software. I mean, it seems like they put effort into it because like the world will have these like little pieces or it'll be put together so intricately. But then at the same time, I don't know. I'm just saying the story might just not be for me, I guess.
So I actually like the simplified letter scaling for stats for this game specifically. I wouldn't want that to be carried over obviously into the main games, but I thought it really worked actually pretty well for just quick leveling and just kind of knowing where your primary stats are going to be, like so you know what best is for what character.
It's hard to find in the menus.
It is. They didn't need to put that in the journal. They could have put that actually, like, in your character selection screen or somewhere else. Like, the journal's a weird place to check for what your stat scaling is.
Or even the weapons and stuff like that. Like
Yeah, even
seeing what
checking-
actual weapon type
I don't
is.
think it would have taken up too much space to show the weapon scalings. Fortunately, we played enough Elden Ring that we generally know them all, but it's still kind of funny. I actually really like the passives that are like random spell passives. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more variety of them. Even some goofier ones that are like they don't have to be like really clutch. Like, well, that's a good, but just fun. Like I like having the glint blade phalanxes. The walking abilities are really enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wouldn't mind
Get
seeing a
hit
little more of
and
that.
all enemies get pushed back.
Right,
It
yeah.
doesn't damage them.
An occasional like repel thing, whatever you get hit every now and then, that'd be hilarious.
It
So
would
yeah,
be.
there'd be some fun things they could do with random spells. I'd like to see more of those for passives. Also,
Mm-hmm.
another fun thing, like bows are great in this game. Finally,
Oh yeah, yeah,
Right.
bows are pretty good.
like holy
What
crap.
happened?
and,
What
and look,
happened?
the
How
game
did that
still
happen?
works. Who knew you could make a good bow in a good game?
I don't
No,
know.
no.
They upgraded so many characters and so many weapons and so many things in Elden Ring, and they just didn't touch bows, which were always bad and are still bad. Wild. Wild stuff. I think
Wild.
it's funny because you'll hear people online be like, bows were never good in FromSoft games. It's like, I can play a bow build in Demon Souls that just destroys shit. Keep in mind, you can also make any of other builds in Demon Souls and like Dark Souls that do pretty well. So don't pull that always shit to me. Like, that's not right. It's particularly bad in Elden Ring, and I have no idea why.
You and I both did our bow only runs. Those were definitely challenge runs. Yeah, after that, I'm just moving on to some cons that I would like to see them change or just fix, essentially. They're very fixable
Sure.
cons, most of these. But I was saying, like, we touched on no game mode varieties, but out of those game modes, there's things I'd like to see. Or just your basic horde modes, some team battles. You can get crazier with the tower defenses, the oddball I mentioned before, some kind of territory game. Like, I'd just like to see, just get weird. Get some games out there that we could play other than just, the closing ring of fire.
That's Elden
Right.
Ring Day Rain. Day spelled D-A-Y, Rain, R-A-I-N. And that would be the tower defense game. Mixed with Elden Ring.
But yeah, I just feel like there's so much room for game modes, and game modes would kind of give it that kind of, like, why everyone comes back to Halo even still is like, you just got games to play, like, different ways to do them. Now, I know this ain't a party game like a Halo, but again, like, even live service games have modes, so just really could do with something there.
Mm-hmm.
Duos, they're gonna bring in duos, but I don't know why it's taking so long to bring in duos. Like, we need duos.
It's also like they habit bait it like in the game when someone quits. So it's like, what?
Right? Like, it already like allocates the stats once someone leaves to a duo mode. So why is that just not a starting option already? Minor gripe. Downed allies, I feel like, could do with a bigger hitbox. It is really kind of annoying just whiffing attacks over their head. Like,
Yeah, just above them.
Yeah.
exactly. Just like pretend the hitbox is them still standing, and I think it would be fine.
Or a cylinder above them.
Yeah, just
to
like make it a little
easy.
ball around them, like.
So if you swing a sword above the character, it still counts.
Because, yeah, like, I mean, try to get a piercing attack, especially, like, on a downed ally, it just keeps going over them. It's a pain. But,
Yep. I like
It
the
is.
revive mechanic. I think it's interesting.
yeah, I do like having a revive mechanic, and feel like, even though it's weird kind of hitting your allies, I feel like it does work.
But yeah, definitely bigger hitboxes would not be something that I would be against.
Right? Because as it stands right now, the fact that it kind of, like, slowly, like, or you say really rapidly, like, recovers after you fail
Oh,
to hit them
right.
over a certain amount of time, that's fine. But when you have shit hitboxes, it insults you when you see it coming back because you can't hit it.
Because you can't even hit that fucking guy because you're using a piercing weapon.
Right. And then follow up to that is gotcha boss attacks. We ran into those when we first fought Sovereign Adele. Like, I mean, every boss has them. Actually, I guess our first one was probably the Sleepy boss. Because even though he's the easiest boss, it's still like, wait, are we all just asleep and dead now? Like, how were any of us supposed to know this was a thing?
Yeah, so I guess they almost either expect you to die to it a few times, which is fine, but it's a 45-minute run, so it seems like a lot more when you die to something like that.
Right, 45-minute run for an area, like a whole arena-wide attack that can nuke everyone if you don't know what to do about it. So either you're looking
Right.
up what to do about it in advance, which kind of like spoils some of the fun of a first fight.
A little bit.
Yeah, or like I said, you just kind of risk everyone just losing 45 minutes of run because you don't know what to do.
Yeah, so typically what we did is we fought them at least without doing that the first time, and then after that we're okay to look stuff up.
Right.
But some of the attacks, you especially want to see them when they happen. Like,
Yeah.
even with those new bosses, just seeing like, oh shit, he's hopping around, fucking he's shooting his whole
pulling a
arrow.
Darth Maul. I don't know what's going
Yeah.
on. But with Sovereign Adele, it's like, oh yeah, he makes a tornado and shoots you out of it. And then you have to apparently do the counterintuitive thing of running back into the tornado or hopping over it, essentially. But either way, you don't think that the tornado is the space you're supposed to go to, like, naturally.
It's
Like,
safe.
that looks like it would hurt, and it does hurt when you touch it, so it's even more counterintuitive.
But when you know it, and you know about the jump things, it is cool jumping into the tornado.
It is when you know. So yeah, it's like, I get why they did it, you know, a little mini arena thing. It's spectacle, it's fun, but holy shit, is it like you just don't instinctively think to do it.
Definitely don't instinctively think to do it. No.
We touched on custom characters. Something I wouldn't mind seeing is, like, I still think there is room to have a custom character. You pick some
I
letter
don't know how it
scales and
would
things
work.
like this. You just kind of like pick their letters and things like that. They would naturally have to be a worse one because they wouldn't get ults probably or anything like that. But at least you get to like have some better stats maybe here and there where you want them, and
Choose
you
your
get your
starting
starting
weapon.
equipments and starting like armor look. I
But
love
Mimic?
being able to custom a guy. Yeah, maybe you could give him a summon or something.
No, I mean he is a mimic.
Oh,
It's
he
like
is a
character.
mimic. I get you. Yeah, fun ways you could spin that. But I don't know. I would have liked to have seen it still. I think it could work. And but I get that class games you generally want to know what people's roles are, so that you know how to like work around them as a teammate. And
Sure.
a custom character, you can't really tell what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, that sounds confusing to me, but if they could find a way to make it work, I'm sure it would be fun.
Right. And then well, you know how like whenever you have like a whole bunch of drops and you're like trying to sort through or pick up one thing and everything's all like shuffled up there, you can't read anything. I wouldn't mind them actually having some kind of system where outside of the expedition you can basically preset your character's desired items. So that basically they kind of show up in a different color or something if it's something that you kind of set is these are things I want, like these passives or these things, or even like these things I don't want, at least don't even show them to me. Like, or make them red, so I know.
I guess
like,
they're
okay,
okay.
that's not
Yeah,
for
make
me.
them red so you can drop
Because
them
yeah,
off
sometimes
to
they're
other
for
people.
allies, and
But-
but yeah, I don't know. It's just because it is kind of annoying having to stop and read, and I do appreciate the speed of this game, and I just feel like we could make it even more speedy, efficient in certain ways. Because yeah, there's a lot of stopping and reading. Me personally, I'm just picking up everything and then stopping and running and reading while I'm dropping, like a little breadcrumb trail,
Sure. That works.
Dropping your shield grease.
right? Also, too, if people are setting presets, then maybe it's like if it's something that shows up for an ally, like say they set a preset, you say, "Oh, this is green. That means it's for my buddy. It's something he set as something he wants." You know? I don't know. It's not
Yeah,
that
there's.
really like that specifically, but I just wouldn't mind a way to kind of speed through, like picking up what's relevant to you and ignore. Like, I don't want to pick up, like, for example, freaking daggers, throwing daggers. They're freaking everywhere, like among all the other crap. Like, I don't want give
All
me the
the
smith and
items.
stone. I don't even want to
Yeah.
touch a dagger.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants the throwing daggers.
No one wants a throwing dagger.
No, no one wants a throwing dagger. Trying to think of a scenario, and I can't.
Well, you have the relic for more damage for throwing daggers.
Is that a relic?
There is,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
throwing damage is
Yeah.
increased. There's pots too, I guess, but
Yeah, I've seen that one.
right. Another thing too, furthermore, touching on items, is I wouldn't mind just kind of even if it's just one, although I feel like we have room for 3 or even infinite, but I just like an empty, like usable item slot that you can just use to hold things, like a bag. Like, you can pick up extra weapons for your buddies without having to drop something of yours or shuffle stuff around.
They're not equipped.
Yeah, they're not equipped. You're not getting their passives. They're just there as a pack mule kind of spot.
That could be a passive of a new character. Just got like a backpack,
Yeah, there
ladder
you go.
guy or something.
Ladder guy. Guy with a
That
backpack.
guy.
He can carry extra items for his buddies.
His alt is a ladder.
Ladder guy.
I mean, the totem guy could probably do most
That's
of
pretty
what the
close,
ladder
yeah.
guy could do.
It
It
would
is
feel
cool.
cool.
Yeah, wouldn't help with bosses, but it would feel pretty cool.
Right. I'm speaking of bosses too. I wouldn't mind if they would simply put a grace, like kind of like after you like beat the ads or so, like, or before you beat the ads, where the night closes in, or at least not shut the graces off when some a-hole activates the ads, so that you can at least
Yeah.
heal up on your way through the fire, because normally
It's
you're trying
very
to wrap
nice when
something
you're
up.
able to go full health right before you have to fight like a day 2 boss or day 1 boss, and it's pretty annoying sometimes when you're like down to 1 heal because you're getting chased by the fire.
Right. And normally it's like, okay, well, we'll plan on stopping by that grace, we'll heal
But sometimes
up
there's
there.
no graces.
And sometimes there ain't no grace, and yeah, that is annoying too. But even when you see a grace, then it's like, okay, we'll touch that grace. But then your rando is like already in the thing, and he activates everyone, and then all the graces
Right.
shut off, and then you can't heal on the grace you're planning on healing on. And then we
Yeah.
have to fight the Nameless King with 0 flasks,
Yeah.
which we
We
barely
beat the
scraped
Nameless
by
King,
on that
we
one.
had
Yeah,
to do
we
that.
did.
Yeah. Do we have 2 bow guys or something? Like, I forgot how we did that.
Right. Pinging system. I like the pinging system. I feel like it could have some subtle improvements in 2 different ways. One, it could either have a soft ping where you make more of like a blinking suggestion that fades away real
Mhm.
quick, or they could do a numbered ping thing too, where you're like, hey, let's go here, then here.
Right. I like that, and it guides your thought process.
Right.
You're
Granted,
like,
I wouldn't
okay,
give
I'm going
anyone
to the
more
church.
than 2 numbers, otherwise they're going to get real freaking annoying with it.
Yeah. And like, yeah, the soft recommendation one's a good idea, even if it's just on there for like 10 seconds or 20 seconds or something, just enough for other people to see it, where you're just like, I think here, but I'm not really that sold on it. If you want to go somewhere else, that's fine. I'm just throwing out an idea.
Right. If there's something you need to do here, fine. I'm just making a suggestion for the sake of let's go somewhere so we're not standing still. That's what.
Mhm.
There's a lot of suggestions I make in that circumstance. Like, let's not hold still, guys. Let's go somewhere.
Yeah. I've done it with randos before too, where I'm like, why am I guiding you guys? And they're just like running back and forth looking at me like, what do you want me to do? Like, fine, we'll go here. It's a random base with one fucking goofy looking
'Cause
guy
like I say,
tooting
like,
his horn. The
you know,
tutors.
the tutors.
Tutors.
Because yeah, this is a game too, like where we don't have voice chat, and I get why, and just some clearer communication, like via pings would be probably a little helpful, and I feel like they're on the right track. Pinging ain't bad, but I feel like it could be improved. Not a big deal. In fact, I don't even think it's worth mentioning, but I wouldn't mind if the Nightreign did a little less damage, when you're underground in a mine. Just seems
Or
like
if it
it's
did.
rain.
Oh,
after
you're
all.
not
It is
getting rain
rain,
done.
yeah.
I don't know. It just seems realistic, but whatever.
You can
It's
hide in
raining.
the rain.
You're
You should go underground. No, that won't work.
That's not how that rain works. It's ghost rain.
It doesn't work. So they're right. It starts raining from the ceiling.
Oh man, I hate that.
Pot trolls. Like, let's just
Oh fuck.
give that
No,
castle some more
fuck.
XP, or delay their pot throwing a little bit here. They don't need to be getting up your ass with those pots like every
Every 3
second.
seconds.
'Cause I feel like when I'm fighting one troll, there are literally at least 3 pots that are coming my way for that fight, and that is excessive.
Yeah, it's
And the
a
fire
problem.
sticks around.
Right, it hurts too. Like, it ain't like just some like,
Mhm.
it's a slow tick damage. No, that fucking kills you. Yeah, like it's the least rewarding one for XP, and it's the most annoying. Like, I don't know how that makes any sense. That makes Elden Ring sense actually.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, let's fight the Revenant and get 1,000 runes out of it. That's good. Like, no one
One
wants
thing
to
it
fight
does
it.
do is it adds more differences to the run where you might not want to go in the center every time, and that does add some variety.
Yeah, I guess. But if we're chasing level 15, I feel like you need Crucible Knights, or at least how we play it, we need Crucible Knights.
They could also, if their goal was to make sure nobody ever stepped foot in the castle, they could put those invisible assassin guys in there. No one would ever step foot in there, or like the dagger birds. It could just be Dagger Bird Castle.
Dagger
Dagger
Castle,
Bird
just
Castle.
Morocks throwing a bunch of barrels at you all day long.
Yeah.
They don't give you any XP either.
They could have so many shitty enemies that they could throw in there.
They do have the option to give you as many shitty enemies as you want. And then on the further note with the castle, Red-Eye Bellbearing Hunter, tone that
Okay.
fucker
Yeah,
down
a
a
little
bit.
overtuned.
A little too
Yeah,
much
I'm not
HP
really sure.
and poise. Like,
Damage.
Yeah, your damage is high. I don't
Everything.
mind heavy hitting enemies, but if they're also like invincible, it's kind of one too
You're
many
level
for a time game,
15, and you're like, what the fuck? That took out 80% of my health. It was just a swing.
right? Or maybe like, hey, my ult kind of staggers like the biggest Night Lord boss in the game, but you apparently didn't even give a shit. That's not right,
And like, I've killed them before.
Yeah,
you
we
can
do it.
but it's annoying.
right? It's time consuming in a game that you don't
Randoms
have
don't
time,
do it.
Right.
right?
They always back out, and I'm like, oh, that's fine. That makes sense. But
Yeah, we don't argue it. Of course, sometimes we do argue it when it's like, well, you got literally nowhere else to go.
yeah, you have
mini
there's
bosses in
nothing on the
circle.
map. Yeah.
We mentioned then some more like fun passes for relics and things, and I did have some other fun ideas that like I wouldn't again like starting weapons, sure, but also like we could do more relics that buff allies, also more things that like flask can restore FP relics, you know, like tweak some things, or even just revive ally quicker relics. Like, would it be great
Oh
to be
yeah.
like just leaning
Mhm.
into your reviving? Like, hey, you do
Yeah.
twice the damage for reviving. Something, maybe a percentage.
Or 50%. You
Yeah.
know.
Exactly, just a big old boost to it.
I agree that stuff like that could be fun, and
Yeah,
it could be like a 20% boost. You can balance it out with the other stuff.
right. Yeah, you can even do things too like that play into the elements of the game that they introduced too. Like Surge Sprint is new to the game. Wouldn't mind a relic that just simply made Surge Sprint take a little less stamina, because you do it a
Oh
lot.
sure.
Right.
Yeah, when
you
you're
do-
sprinting from the boss to one end of the map to the other end of the map all the
Right?
time.
That's basically the game. You sprint to the boss from one end of the map to the other end.
Yeah.
It is a big part of it.
Right. Very minor thing, but I've been saying it since the beginning of the game. I wouldn't mind being able to look at the map during the start and cutscene while everyone's just kind of enjoying watching their characters and walk all cool guy.
Cool guy.
Plan it out.
Right? Yeah. Just give us something to do while some people are enjoying their cutscenes. Not
It's
a
a cool
big deal.
cutscene, Steve.
Yeah, it's a cool cutscene. I've only seen it a million times. Why not one more?
Different character this time.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned this, but I wouldn't. It's a very minor but weird gripe. Why is it when we pick up boss loot or like the talisman, it doesn't go into an empty slot if we have it?
That one's so stupid.
It's just
Yep.
No, I have no idea. No idea what they were thinking with that.
it's like, okay, yep, I want that talisman. Wait, I gotta pick a slot. I have no talisman.
Yeah, and you're like
Just
getting
put it in
attacked or
there.
the rain's hitting you,
Right.
and there's like other equipment around it or something.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fixable.
Right. We could do with some more variety of consumables. And then, yeah, I have an ongoing kind of opinion about spirit birds in this game. Like, I'm sure we're all a little mixed on this, but I feel like generally they're not worth it. At the time,
Birds?
yeah.
Birds?
The go to the skies.
Oh,
Yeah,
spirit
the
birds,
sky
so
birds.
it's-
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what they're called, but those fucking spirit bird trees. Like sometimes, like, oh yeah, just take me where I need to go, like in the wrong direction. Oh, take me into the fire. Good, I didn't see that on the map. Once you get used to it, it's like okay, you know where they're going. But even then, they're not typically very fast to the point where you're almost wondering, could I have run there?
Quicker.
Like I have to go out of my way to get to the bird first, and then it takes me there slightly faster than I can run.
Well,
It still looks so cool when
It
you're up in the
does
sky.
look so cool, and occasionally it does have some uses, like you can get on top of a fort with them, you know, so it saves you a little time on that. But yeah, they feel a little slow for going out of the way to get them, or they could be those more places. I don't know.
it is fun to take to the skies, though, right, Kelly?
Yeah.
Every game,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Every game.
matchmaking could do with some improvements. Just the whole like kind of remembrances and shift and earth restrictions, kind of like cutting you out. I don't see why that would have to cut you out, including remembrance quests. Like for example, like why can't
Yeah,
two
that's
Iron Eyes
confusing.
complete the same quest at the same time?
And why can't you have more than one iron or more than one quest? It seems like they're in different locations.
Right? I mean, again, yeah, because like I said, if two Iron Eyes need to kill, Dark Drift Knight to get the relic thing, and they're both Iron Eyes,
doesn't do
both kill
that.
him, like, yeah, why would you stop that? It's not going to hurt anything. Why does only one get the reward?
No. Only one.
Yeah, only one. City event, as two, on speaking of Shift and Earth, that could also, the night could probably end in the city instead of, always outside the city, so you never get time to do it because it's in the lower bumfuck corner of the map.
Where you have to end it.
Right? So it's like either the night needs to end in the city or it needs to not get rid of your castle at least, because you have no levels when that thing's in there, so the city is a pain.
The city one's a longer run, and the volcano one's a pretty long run too. But the reward for the volcano one's really good.
It is, and at
I
least
don't
the
remember the
volcano
city
is in
one.
the center of the map, so you generally can do it in the day
Right.
without, getting screwed.
Because as soon as the stuff starts sinking down, it's like already over the main boss. So you have to pretty much go straight there. It seems like.
Right. I wouldn't mind if there's simply just taking runes was always a passive offered whenever you kill a Night Lord. It could be a very small amount, like 5,000
In case you
even.
got nothing.
Yeah, just whenever you beat, not Night Lord, but yeah, whenever you beat like any kind of boss that drops something, like just runes. Because half the time I get like FP regen, I'm a raider, dang, okay. Right,
Guarding.
Do you want the thing that makes your flask really shitty and slow heal? No. Why is that even a thing?
I
Get rid of
accidentally
that. Let's
picked
just make
that
that
up.
What
its
is the
own thing.
point of
sometimes.
that?
It's so bad.
That's a
It's
trap.
really bad.
Yeah, it's for people that aren't reading, maybe.
Right? I've heard some people try to defend it, like, well, if you're playing an Iron Eye and you're out of the action, those will
No,
actually heal you
you
more.
still
No.
want to heal.
If I'm playing
No,
an Iron
yeah.
Eye, the regular flask will heal my whole freaking bar, so no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so if you're
exactly.
like 20% boosts, you just get a full health. So it's like, why would you want one that maybe boosts it by like 10 or 20% when there's already one that boosts it by 20%?
No.
So yeah, that freaking drop needs to just go. Like that's
Yeah.
its own thing.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Oh, this is a personal gripe. I wouldn't mind if they nerfed the Evergall relic. So I actually do want a nerf where that one that says, "Hey, get 5% more
Because you
damage
just don't
for
want
every
people to be
Evergall."
doing it all the
Because
time.
I'm sick of freaking douches that are hyper prioritizing Evergalls over everything else. Be like, I need my 5% damage so I can get it up to 40 when I do all the Evergalls. Like, buddy, like half of us don't got this meta relic on, and even if we did, we're ignoring churches and other things with your stupid ass route. Like, there's funner ways to play this game, even if it is technically better. Like, say, let's just say it is for the sake of argument. It's still not fun. 'Cause
Yeah,
you take
it
all the
makes it
variety
even
out of
more
it.
repetitive each run.
Exactly. So they need to nerf that to diminishing returns, like 5%, then 4%, 3%, so that it like caps out around no more than 20. It's still good,
It'd still be good, yeah.
and you do a few, you're still better off than anything else. I really don't like Evergal players. That's a gripe of mine. Also, too, another fun and passive relic. I wouldn't mind a relic that would actually just show you kind of boss locations in the end tree point. Like, they already have the treasure finding relic, so, just a little fun thing to have some advanced knowledge of, like,
The
where we
tree
find,
one would be really good.
right? Like, hey,
So
we
you
can
know
kind
where
of
the
plan our
circles
day
are?
a little better, because I have a good relic
Yeah.
passive. So that is actually all I got now.
So those are our thoughts on Elden Ring Nightreign. Overall, we liked the game more than we thought we would, at least. Probably different levels. I platinumed the game all the way. I'm happy about it. I still enjoy playing it, honestly. Like, even though I've done everything, it's kind of fun to just jump in there, even with randoms, and maybe get frustrated, maybe win something. There's definitely some fun in there. There's still plenty more that they could improve, even as a game that's just, an asset flip, essentially. It's just a fun time, so overall I'm pretty happy that I picked it up. And I will also be picking up the DLC, I believe. Which is weird because it kind of feels like DLC or a mod. But I'll be picking up the DLC for this game, I'm sure.
Right, the DLC,
DLC
for the DLC.
plus.
But yeah, overall, very happy with the game. Glad we got it. Glad we're getting to play together. And yeah, I'm happy they did it. I'm happy they're getting the experience, like trying to branch out a little. That's great for the team at FromSoft. So
It is funny that it's 3 players, too. That's perfect for us.
It does work out pretty well for us.
Right.
Granted, even though we just said we'd like some duos. But, it is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I definitely enjoyed the experience. I'm happy I picked it up. It's not going to replace or take the place of what I look for in Elden Ring, hoping for Elden Ring 2 or any full-scale Dark Souls game. But for like a short-term, fun co-op experience in the Elden Ring world, this does do pretty well. So, I'm happy with it.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.